Good evening. The April 17, 2025 meeting of the Woodbridge Township Board of Education will please come to order. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Bourdain.
Here.
Ms. Perez.
Here.
Mr. Mohammed.
Here.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Here.
Mr. Velez.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here. Mr. Secretary, as required by the Sunshine Law, please read the notice of meetings.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted as follows. On January 21, 2025, emailed to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Municipal Clerk's Office, posted in Ross Street School Number 11, and the Board of Education Administration Building, also published on the school district website.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Wolferman. Dr. Massimino, please introduce our student representative, Yusef Ghazi from Colonial High School.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Yusef is a junior with a 4.2 GPA who plans on attending college to major in engineering. Yusef is an important member of the Colonial High School community with some of his most notable achievements, including being named captain of the Juggernauts academic team after partaking in the club since freshman year and leading his team to a third-place finish at the High-Tech High academic competition and a first-place win at the Massed Pop Culture competition. In addition, he has taken on leadership roles such as the co-president of the junior class and a founding member of the debate club. Yusef has also been an active member of the CHS Student Diversity Council, helping to prepare for various projects, including the yearly celebration of diversity. In his spare time, Yusef enjoys drawing and playing video games. Yusef has proven himself to be an exemplary member of the Colonial High School community, personifying the Colonial High School core beliefs of character, commitment, and community. Yusef, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Massimino, members of COLT, President Harris, and members of the Board of Education for inviting me here this evening. I'll get right into it, starting off with our elementary schools. On March 6th, Penn Ave hosted their annual Brighten Up Our School Family Night. Families donated money to paint cinder blocks in their hallways in creative ways that uniquely represented them. The money is being used to purchase supplies for the Woodbridge Animal Shelter and Angel Paws in Colonia. Penn Ave also held their Bubbles for Autism event on April 10th. The entire student body gathered outside, each grade wearing their own color of the rainbow and blue bubbles. The event culminated with the whole school arranging an infinity symbol for an overhead photo. The Penn Ave chorus had the honor of singing the national anthem at the Somerset Patriots game on Saturday, April 12th. At Colonia Middle School, at school 4 and 5, they hosted their grade 3 through grade 5 talent show on April 10th, 2025. During the months of February and March, students worked diligently at home and during recess to perfect their talents. The show highlighted acts such as singing, dancing, instrumental music, magic, and sports. At Claremont Avenue School Community School, they joined together for several family events in March and April. On Friday night, March 21st, their families enjoyed an evening of candy bingo. Before school, on April 2nd and 3rd, students had breakfast with a special family member / guest at Sweets with Someone Special. The Scholastic Book Fair was open at that time as well, so that students and guests could shop for books during the breakfast. On Monday, April 7th, Claremont Avenue School Chorus and Band held a spring concert for the student body during the school day and performed later that evening at Colonia High School for family and guests. At School 21, the student council members at Oak Ridge Heights School had been busy during their first half of the year. These 4th and 5th grade students met monthly with their advisors, Ms. Cassoni and Ms. Corretti, to discuss school spirit days, fundraisers, and upcoming events. Student council helped to organize a Smedsel fundraiser for funds towards their school project, purchasing a new digital sign. At School 22, Lindcrest Elementary School, they were recognized by the Sustainable Jersey as a Digital School Star. Digital School Stars embraces the mindful implementation of effective digital learning and communication tools, resources, and practices. Lindcrest is the first elementary school in the district to achieve this recognition. On April 2nd, Lindcrest held a school-wide April Autism Acceptance celebration in honor of World Autism Awareness Day. Our entire student population wore blue bubbles to celebrate our significant autism population. Throughout the months, students from our autism program read announcements including facts and tips related to autism. And at School 23, fourth grade students held their annual Wax Museum last month. Students dressed up as their favorite historical figures and presented their biographies and characters to other students. Across the district, Junior Youth and Government Day was held on April 10th at the Administration Building, bringing together selected 7th grade students from each middle school. Participants were chosen by their civic teachers based on the strength and feasibility of their proposed community service projects. Each project demonstrated a commitment to civic engagement and the potential to make a meaningful impact within the local community. At our middle schools, starting with Avenel Middle School, on March 27th, AMS inducted 34 new members into their National Junior Honor Society. On April 2nd and 3rd, the theater club successfully performed an original student-written and produced musical titled Detention Through the Decades. At Colonia Middle School, they hosted a school-wide PBIS mid-year event with the theme of Dancing with the CMS Stars. Recent assembly programs at CMS included meteorologist John Marshall and New York Times bestselling author Dr. George Jenkins. CMS's 7th and 8th grade math teams finished in 3rd place in the perennial math regional competition and qualified for the national competition. And finally, at Colonia High School, the CHS dance team are 2025 state champions. The team won Varsity Game Day Division and placed 3rd in the Varsity Jazz Division. CHS competition cheer team are also state champions in the Varsity All Music Intermediate Small Division. The ID and autism classes started a coffee cart for our faculty called Patriot Park that runs every Friday. The Guitar Club held its first total rock concert in over 10 years in the auditorium on April 10th, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. CHS welcomed alumni Peter Go Mulka and Ratchet Jane back to discuss internships, networking, college and career opportunities, and Formula One racing. CHS student research students participated in the American Waterworks Association's 10th annual water filter competition. Freshman students Angela Arganza, and Sanjana Ram placed 2nd, and seniors Nicolette Basque and Manhardeep Singh placed 1st against college students from Rutgers, NJIT, and Rowan. The CHS English Honor Society members Marvin Alexis and Roxanne Raskinivdiek were awarded $1,500 scholarships from the National English Honor Society for their outstanding essay submissions. 4 CHS Future Business Leaders of America members, Sarah Kiarteliau, Joseph Mibiti, Rashida Paranjapi, and Rajput, qualified for the 3-day FBLA State Leadership Conference in Atlantic City.
Thank you, Youssef, for your detailed report, and to Principal Mr. Chiera for joining us from Colonial High School. You're both welcome to stay, but if you have other obligations this evening, feel free to dismiss.
I will be leaving, but thank you all for this opportunity, for letting me be part of this Board of Education meeting.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Good luck. Ms. Bourdain, please read the closed session statement, please.
Mr. President, in compliance with the Sunshine Law, the board must go into closed session in order to discuss subjects exempt from the public portion of our meeting. The discussions to be held in closed session will be regarding personnel matters, and the board will receive attorney-client advice. Any information regarding the closed session discussion will be released to the public when the reasons for discussing these matters in closed session no longer exist.
I have a motion by Ms. Bourdain. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Bourdain, seconded by Mr. Treebwasser. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carried. We retire to closed session. We'll be out as soon as possible. Thank you. Okay, we will do a moment of silence for the shooting today at Florida State, where 2 students were killed and 5 were injured. And we'll also start off with a salute to the flag. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to reconvene?
So motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second?
I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser, seconded by Ms. Perez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Roll call, Mr. Secretary?
Ms. Anderson?
Here.
Ms. Bourdain?
Here.
Ms. Perez?
Here.
Mr. Mohammed? Here. Mr. Treebwasser?
Here.
Mr. Velez? Here. And Mr. Harris.
Here. Will someone please make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
Motion?
Second.
Okay. Are there any additions or corrections? I have a motion by Ms. Perez, seconded by Mr. Treebwasser. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Mr. Secretary, please state for the record any notices of bids received by the board.
Mr. President, no bids were received.
Excellent. Dr. Massimino, please state for the record the superintendent's reports for the month of March 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I present to the board the following reports for the month of March 2025. The Register of Statistics, report of fire drills, student suspension report for elementary and secondary, bomb threat report, and the monthly report of the attendance officers.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Massimino. The Woodbridge Township Board of Education welcomes and encourages active, productive, and respectful participation by members of the public and seeks to protect the First Amendment rights of those members of the public who wish to engage in free speech. At this Board of Education meeting, members of the public are requested to express themselves in a civil manner with due respect for the dignity and privacy of those whose legal rights may be impacted. The public is now invited to speak at the podium regarding the agendas being presented this evening. When you come to the microphone, please provide your name and the section of the township in which you reside, along with the specific agenda item you wish to discuss. As per Regulation 1100D, comments must be limited to no more than 5 minutes. No response will be given until you have completed your opportunity to speak. Wishing to speak on any agenda items, please come up to the microphone, please. What was your point now? I don't have that. I don't have anything like that. Right? Okay. Yes, Mr. Fatak, how are you? Good evening.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, all of you. I want to thank everybody about the safety. We talk about it for a long time. And I think my first question, do we have the funds in the budget, 24 and 25 budget, to do such a thing, to put those metal detectors in the schools? If we didn't, why did we do it before? But I think it was a great thing, because you can see every day someplace in the country something's happening. And I always said before, number one problem that we got is probably newcomers, like when I came myself, I was a newcomer. We have to be safe 100%, not just once, over 100%. We got to do anything and everything, not just that put the metal detectors in schools, high schools. We should think about it, put them all the schools. I know probably it's expensive. I don't know if you have to rent them or you buy them.
Mr. Fatar?
Yeah.
I apologize. Do you, a specific agenda item, or would you like to speak on this on the public section?
Well, it says safety and security.
Okay, you're on the safety and security
Yeah,
agenda?
safety and security, yeah.
Okay, you're on the one item for
Yeah.
St. John Vianney, I believe? Or St. James, excuse me.
Yeah. So anyway, so my thing would be, I know probably it's expensive this or that, but personally, we should just stop because of high schools. We got 3 high schools. You got to think behind the schools, behind junior high schools, all the schools. And my problem was to understand that we always thought that you're going to have people over here to be security because of the terrorists.
Mr. Fatar, could you please stay on the agenda item? I apologize.
Well,
I'll
yeah.
give you the opportunity at the public
But
portion.
safety and security, yeah.
Okay, no, it has to be on the specific
Yeah,
item. I
security.
apologize. I just
Okay.
want to stick to the
Safety,
rules
security,
so it's fair.
what I would recommend would be to put detectors all the schools.
Okay, all right.
And another thing, I know it's
Mr.
expensive. but
Fatar, I apologize. Item number 1 is just specific to St. James Elementary School purchasing security equipment. It doesn't have anything to do with metal detectors Just to stick with the rules, can we come back in the public
Yeah,
portion?
sure, I
We'll
will
we'll
do it.
address
Yeah,
your
yeah, I will
question?
do it. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
I
thank you.
apologize. All right, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on a specific agenda item? Thank you, Will, for fixing the audio. Okay, thank you. All right. I'm just going to retroactively go back. Mr. Wolferman, do you have any notices received by the board?
Thank you, Mr. President. We have one correspondence. We're in receipt of one notice from the Woodbridge Township Planning Board for a hearing for Block 761.02, Lot 3.01, 80 Woodbine Avenue in Woodbridge.
Okay, excellent. All right, thank you very much. Superintendent's agenda, Dr. Massimino, do you have any recommendations for us?
Yes, Mr. Harris, I have 47 items to present to the board this evening.
Thank you very much. Dr. Massimino has made a motion. Do we have any, do we
make
have
a
a second?
I make a motion to move the superintendent's agenda.
Excellent. Seconded by Mr. Treebwasser. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Okay. Roll call, Mr. Secretary?
Just before we do that, we just need a second, Mr.
Oh, I
Treebwasser was the
apologize.
first.
All right, sorry.
Second.
Because it feels like a motion, right? I think it feels like you're making the motion. It
He's
should
not
be
allowed.
seconded. So, but
Mr. Harris, if we'll expedite the meeting, I'm happy to deliver the agenda and make the motion.
so we have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser. Do I have a second?
Second.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Excellent. All
I'll
right.
second that.
Seconded by Ms. Bourdain.
Thank you.
Are there any comments or questions from the board?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a comment on item number 29. So on March 19th, we had our prom dress giveaway, our Woodbridge Township prom dress giveaway. We do this to kind of help our families offset the cost of attending proms. I want to acknowledge the student volunteers are getting a resolution tonight that helped us. I want to acknowledge Mr. Ali helped coordinate that from an administrative perspective. We were able to give out 70 prom dresses at our event this year. Thank you.
Any other comments on superintendent's agenda?
Mr. President?
Yes, go
I
ahead.
do want to piggyback on Ms. Anderson's comment. I was there at that prom dress giveaway, and it is like the best night. The girls are just so supportive and happy. Mr. Ali, even, I'm going to put him on the spot right now, he even made these signs. We said yes to the dress. He really, he upped our game this year. We had a lot of volunteers, a lot of student volunteers, and a lot of community come in and donate jewelry and shoes and dresses. So we definitely appreciate that. And just to see the support that these girls offer one another that don't even know each other. They're not even from the same
Right.
school. It was just really great. And the moms come in with them sometimes, and it's very nice. So Marie, thank you for bringing that back again this year. I always want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
My second thing is I just want to shout out to all of our teachers, staff, faculty. April and early May is a special time of year as we nationally thank our paraprofessionals on April 3rd, school bus drivers April 22nd, administrative professionals April 23rd, teachers May 6th, school nurses May 7th. Please join me in extending our appreciation for frontline workers who serve our students, families, and schools in numerous tangible and intangible ways.
Yes. Thank you
I believe
very
there's
much.
resolutions for those groups.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain?
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser?
I abstain on the name in item 1 of Linda Treebwasser, yes on all other items.
Mr. Velez?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes. Communication, policy, and planning agenda, Mr. Mohammed.
Mr. President, the Communication Policy and Planning Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, presents the following 12 recommendations. Before I move for the adoption, I just want to recognize item number 10 on the agenda for our board members, Sue Bourdain and Marie Anderson, for the time that you took to assist with this event. Yeah, great job, and I want to understand it's a really good success. And also, there are some events also that Ms. Bourdain mentioned that are taking place during the month. So if members of the public can join in and attend those events, that'll be really good showing for the students and for the teachers. Thank you so much. So, Mr. President, I move for the adoption of the foregoing 12 items.
Thank you very much. I have a motion by Mr. Mohammed. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Mohammed, seconded by Ms. Perez. Any comments or questions from the board?
Oh, Mr. President, I do want to
Yes.
acknowledge our community volunteers that we had, and I do see in the audience, I see Mr. Glenn Morgan, and it was the Independent Club of Colonia that actually collaborated with us for the prom dress giveaway. So
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent. Ms. Perez?
I'd like to point out a few calendar changes. Since the district did not use any of its 3 built-in inclement weather days this year, I remind parents to mark their calendars that all schools will now be closed on the following days: Friday, May 23rd, Tuesday, May 27th, and Monday, June 9th. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Okay. Hearing no others, roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Okay, moving on. Mr. Pastorino, please provide an overview of the 2024-2025 Fall Block NJSLA results.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
You're welcome.
Our fall block NGSLA is roughly about half of our high school students in grade 9 for language arts, algebra 1, geometry, and algebra 2. This report contains a district analysis with a comparison of the 23-24 school year with our 24-25 school year results in the fall and the respective state averages in those same years. It also provides a school analysis with those same comparisons alongside the performance in our 3 respective high schools. It provides a demographic analysis and intervention measures provided by the district. The public should note that some of the data may be suppressed due to an effort to keep student data private when the number of participants is represented by 10 or fewer students. There's some promising information contained in the grade 9 language arts report, which shows we exceeded the state average in moving students who are not meeting or partially meeting expectations by 3% and improved 12% from last year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pastorino. Any comments or questions from the board on the presentation? Seeing none. Curriculum, extracurricular activities, and technology agenda. Mr. Treebwasser.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Curriculum, Extracurricular Activities and Technology Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, presents the following 14 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
Thank you very much. I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser. Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser, seconded by Ms. Bourdain. Was that you? Did I
Yes, it
hear?
was.
Okay, great. Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Finance and insurance agenda. Back to you, Mr. Treebwasser.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance and Insurance Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, presents the following 21 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
Excellent. I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Treebwasser, seconded by Ms. Anderson. Any comments or questions from the board? Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
I abstain on item number 1 in the name of Susan Bourdain, and yes on all others.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Safety and security agenda, Mr. Velez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Safety and Security Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, present the following one item, and I'll move for the adoption of the foregoing.
I have a motion by Mr. Velez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Velez, seconded by Mr. Treebwasser. Any comments or questions from the board? Hearing and seeing none. Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Buildings and grounds agenda, Ms. Perez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Buildings and Grounds Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, present the following 5 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
Excellent. I have a motion by Ms. Perez. Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay, motion by Ms. Perez, seconded by Ms. Bourdain. Any comments or questions from the board?
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I just want to give a shout out to our administration and our buildings and grounds people. They're moving on item number 3, the Ford's Middle School parking lot. It was in need of some repairs and probably a redesign. I know there was some drainage problems out there. and we're going to correct that and move on it. I appreciate taking care of that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely due. And thank you.
So much more.
Excellent. Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, Ms. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Dining and Transportation Agenda, Ms. Perez.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Dining and Transportation Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, present the following 10 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
Excellent. I have a motion by Ms. Perez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Ms. Perez, seconded by Ms. Bourdain. Any comments or questions from the board? Hearing and seeing none. Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Personnel Agenda, Ms. Bourdain.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Personnel Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, present the following 19 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
Excellent. I have a motion by Ms. Bourdain. Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay. Motion by Ms. Bourdain, seconded by Ms. Perez. Any comments or questions from the board? None? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson.
I'm going to abstain on item number 17 in the name of Naya Anderson. Yes to all other items.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes. Hope, do you have any legal advice for us this evening? No, very good. Wanted to give you some action there, you know? Is there any old business that should be brought before the attention of the board? No? All right. Any new business?
Mr. President?
Yes.
I would like to take the opportunity to thank the parents and students for their cooperation and patience with the new metal detectors at the high schools. Everyday wait times and our efficiency have improved. And I want to thank the administration again for swiftly moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I know we'll be getting a question about that as well momentarily. Any other new business?
Mr. President?
Yes.
I'd like to let the community know that kindergarten registration for the next school year remains open online. Please spread the word with parents of children of our kindergarten age. Registering early is very helpful to our district, so we would appreciate that. Thank you.
No, thank you. Anybody else?
Mr. Harris, if
Yeah.
I may.
Oh, absolutely. A shout out.
So this isn't new business. This is news, and it's sad news, but I would be remiss to not share it. Today we laid to rest a community member, Stu Brandow, at 100 years old. He was a fixture in our community, a World War II veteran. It was over a decade ago that we were lucky enough to dedicate the rock, Claremont Avenue by the flagpole in his honor. I was fortunate enough to be the principal there. He's been a friend of my family's for quite some time. Spent holidays with the man, one of the most decent human beings I've had the privilege of knowing and working with. And I say work with because he came to the schools and spent time at the Evergreen Center with students and shared his story. So disappointed not to see that didn't make the news. Of all the things we talk about, it would have been nice to see that be celebrated. 100 years old, World War II veteran. Would have liked to see something get published in his honor, but in lieu of that, I would be remiss to not recognize him. He attended our Veterans Day celebration for decades, visited our schools, and was a fixture. So he will be sorely missed. I considered him a friend and part of my family. So personally, it is a loss, but it is a loss for our community and our students and staff as a whole. So I did want to give Mr. Brandow and his family the recognition I believe he deserves. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other members wishing to speak? I did have just two quick items. I'm very active on social media, as anyone who follows me, and I know many of the board members do as well. There was a question I saw floating around today about tomorrow. Tomorrow's Good Friday within the Christian faith. It is a early dismissal day. It's on a day off. Perhaps other school districts do give that day off. We, as a school district, and we've upheld this position for some time that we only recognize federal holidays for for holidays and days off so we could keep a congruent calendar throughout the year. So that is the reason why it is only a early dismissal day, which was actually negotiated with our collective bargaining units. That's the reason it's a early dismissal day. And so federal holiday is not a federal holiday. It is a Wall Street holiday only, as well as a Christian holiday. And then the early dismissal is a result of negotiations with our employees. So I just wanted to provide that clarity. There seemed to be some criticism of that. Obviously, everyone's always welcome to their opinions, but that has been our position, and I think we've been pretty consistent with it every year when we do the calendar. I hope you could respect that. However, every year, of course, we always take a fresh look at the calendar and are open to ideas going forward. Nextly, I just wanted to cover school breakfast and lunch application. It's a federal program that provides free lunch and breakfast, as well as reduced price breakfast and lunch for people of a certain income. Eligibility has been expanded by virtue of the state of New Jersey kicking in some money to get more students eligible for free breakfast, lunch. That application is open year-round. I would encourage any parent who thinks they may or may not be eligible to apply. That information only stays within Woodbridge Township. It's not shared with anybody, and it could entitle your children to a free lunch or free breakfast. I think it's certainly a worthwhile savings if you do qualify. One of the reasons I bring it up today is that the summer is not far away. For families who are eligible, if you don't sign up, you're not going to be eligible for the summer meals program. It's a program that launched a few years ago where the federal government passes along about $120 to each student that's eligible for the free lunch program, and they receive an EBT or SNAP card in the mail each summer. For some families, affording food throughout the summer break when school is not in session and there's not a breakfast or lunch program, that $120 can be a significant amount of money. And if you don't apply, you're leaving money on the table, money that, your tax dollars are coming back to you. So I would encourage you to fill out that application. It's online. Our district is unlike some other districts where we have an online application as well as a paper application. So if you go to the Genesis page, it's right there on the home page for Genesis, or you could talk to your school front office, your principal's office, and they could get you a paper application. So I would encourage you to do that. Fill it out. If you're not eligible, you're simply not eligible. There's no penalty for applying, but certainly give it a shot. Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, we will move on to the public portion of the meeting. I'll read the same statement I read previously. We will now open the meeting for public comment. If you wish to say something, please come to the microphone, provide your name and the section of the township in which you reside for the record. Again, members of the public are requested to express themselves in a civil manner with due respect for the dignity and privacy of those whose legal rights may be impacted. Please limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes in accordance with Regulation 1100D. No response will be given until you have fully completed all of your comments so as not to interrupt your 5-minute opportunity to speak. Please come to the microphone, name, and the section of the township which you reside. And you can speak on anything. This is the public portion. Mr. Morgan, good evening.
There you go. Good evening. My name is Glenn Morgan. I'm from the Avenel section of the township, and I am also the chairman for the Human Rights Commission. I am also a member of the Independent Club of Colonia as well. I'm here to talk about DEI, and this is one of the last times you'll hear me refer to DEI as an acronym. That is because we have outside forces trying to turn it into DIE, pushing their own agenda in order to keep our society fragmented, as opposed to what it actually is. So I'm here to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Are you aware that scholars and the National Bureau of Economic Research indicates that white women and veterans have benefited the most from diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity is a presence of difference. It's one of the things that contributes to Woodbridge being the best town around. Our neighbors, Black, white, Hispanic, Southeast Asian, East Asian, and more. We're Republicans, Democrats, Independents, rich, poor, middle class, straight, gay, white collar, blue collar. So when you say you're against diversity, be honest. Which of these groups are you against? Because to be against diversity means you're against the presence of difference. Now, equity. Equity is about meeting individual needs. Things like sidewalk ramps for our neighbors in wheelchairs, smaller class sizes for students with learning disabilities, tutoring programs for students who underachieve, gifted and talented programs for students who need an extra challenge, meal accommodations in recognition of religious practices, translation services for those who need it, providing busing for students who live far from their school or can't safely walk to it, ensuring all students, no matter their background or identity, have a chance to see themselves in what they study and who has contributed to making this country great. So when you say you're against equity, please be honest. Which of these are you against? Because to be against equity means you're against meeting the specific needs of your neighbors. Last, inclusion. Inclusion is the practice of ensuring individuals, regardless of background or identity, feel valued, heard, and included in decision-making. It benefits everybody. Looking at course offerings to make sure that the electives offered include things that students are actually interested in. Developing the cultural competence of the people teaching students and leading schools, which can lead to better relationships with students, parents, and the community. Inclusion is having this meeting here in person, but also streaming it live and posting it back for playback so that community members can view or participate in a way that works for them. Things like the opportunity we are provided to speak at meetings like this. And the fact that even those with no kids in the district and people who don't even live in the township are allowed to speak. So when you say you're against inclusion, be honest, which of these things are you against? Because to be against inclusion means you're against ensuring our neighbors, regardless of their background or situation, are heard and valued. So no, I don't believe most people are against diversity, equity, or inclusion, even the ones who are most vocal rallying against it. So I challenge you to learn for yourself what it is and what it looks like in our schools and community. And if you do, you will be fighting to keep it, not lobbying to make it DIE. So if you have any interest in taking this conversation further, I welcome anybody that wants to come to the Human Rights Commission meetings. We have them at the council chambers, and our next one is on May 12th, so I would be glad to talk with anyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, board members. Excuse my voice, I'll try to speak up. I picked a heck of a week to get laryngitis. Hello, my name's Robert Farrell. Except for my college years, I'm a lifelong resident of Woodbridge Township, the Colonia section, 66 plus years now. I was also a K-12 student of our Woodbridge Township school system. Like Glenn Morgan, who just spoke before me, I'm also a committee member of the Woodbridge Township Human Rights Commission. I'm a short timer. First, I would like to clearly state that I am in 100% agreement with what Glenn Morgan so clearly and eloquently stated before me. The rest of my remarks will not be as eloquent as his, but I'll do my best. This is my attempt to put my money where my mouth is as far as the way things are nowadays. So that being said, I stand here this evening speaking for myself alone, not as an HRC member or anyone else, but as a proud and gravely concerned American citizen and Woodbridge Township resident. Next, I also want to make it clear that I believe any attacks or attempts to abridge the basic human rights and dignity of any one child is an attack on the basic human rights and dignity of all children, and also an attack on the basic human rights and dignity of all Americans. Contrary to what some factions in our country would like us to believe, protecting the rights of those with special needs, minorities, the poor, the underprivileged, the underserved, etc., does not diminish the rights of the so-called majority. Human rights are not a zero-sum proposition. Protecting the rights of others does not abridge or diminish any of my rights or anyone else's. To paraphrase a movie scene some of you may recognize, when one Marine asked another why they were convicted of conduct unbecoming a Marine, quote, "Because we didn't do anything wrong," the other Marine replied, quote, "Yeah, we did. We were supposed to fight for those who can't fight for themselves," unquote. At this point in history, we need to stand up and fight for the rights of all children and all Americans. In conclusion, I would simply like to state my opinion that we can't wait until the danger is in our own schools, our own town, and our own backyards. At that point, it is simply too late. We need to stand up now for the rights of our children, to stand up and fight for those who can't protect themselves. Sometimes there is only one chance to be on the right side of history, and now is the time to be on the right side of history. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak this evening?
Set my 5 minutes, if I may. Anthony Mara from Edison. Here to speak about policy 5145.7. I've been here before, not a lot of times, but I've been here before. Others have spoken as I will tonight. You cannot thumb your nose in God's face time and time again repeatedly and expect him to ignore it. 5145.7 dishonors mom and dad. One of the 10 Commandments says, honor your father and your mother. There are other commandments in there. I have them on my phone. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. In other words, no lying. No coveting, no adultery. I'd like to think we all agree that these are things, these are wrongs. Lying, stealing, murder, and so forth. How is it that the 5th commandment has slipped through that one? If you remove the phrase 10 commandments from that, I suspect everyone here, in fact, even if you do, we all know that those are wrong, those sins. How is it that the 5th commandment, honoring mom and dad, which is what 5145.7 violates, how is it that that one isn't honored? 5145.7 says, students who do not want their parents, and I'm reading from the policy, students who do not want their parents or guardians to know their transgender status shall be addressed on a case-by-case basis. I'm going to jump down a few more sentences. The school counselor shall balance the rights of the student needing support and requirement that the parent guardian be kept informed about the child. Who is it what right does this counselor have to keep mom and to decide I have to balance these? Talk about dishonoring mom and dad. Would you do that with these other commands? Lying, stealing, and so forth? No. But somehow mom and dad are to be trashed. God says, have you not read, and this words from Jesus Christ, have you not read that he who created them from the beginning made them male and female? For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. In other words, just two genders. This is not Baskin Robbins where we go and choose amongst a dozen or so genders. Is the student counseled about the risks? You know, we have X, Y, and X chromosomes. No surgery, no hormone blocker is going to change that. The student is lying to himself. That student needs counseling. Is the student counseled about the risk of not having children in the usual way? Because you have surgery and hormone blockers, you're going to do a serious damage to your reproductive organs. Is the student counseled about the increased risk of suicide? The NCAA has changed its policy, and that's a big organization, National Collegiate Athletic Association. Please abolish this policy. Adopt a common sense policy that says we're going to counsel our students about the risks of trying to change genders, risk of not being able to have children, which they may regret in the future. They're children. Do they really know? Do they really know what they're doing? They don't know reading, writing, arithmetic. That's why they're here to learn. Do they know what they're doing? I submit to you that they do not. Abolish this policy, replace it with a common sense one that counsels the student of the risks of trying to change genders. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Yeah.
John Bertari, Woodbridge again.
Hi, good evening.
John Bertari, Woodbridge proper. I just never thought I would speak something like that over here. But again, I talked before about the security, but I'm talking about the DEI, and I'm listening for years, and people do. I went to communist school. I graduated government communism, and we know this stuff before we went to school. We were taught by parents, elderly. We didn't come to school to learn how to respect, how to honor other people, how to help other people, how to feed the other people. We were poor, but we share. We didn't wait to government to tell us. By the time the government comes to tell you, it's too late. This could be told, these kids we should told before they even come to school. We come to high school and become next graduation military. It's too late to teach them the DI, equity, illusion, everything else. So important is, I think maybe, I don't think we wasted our time. I understand some people do not have our parents or mentors to actually teach them those quality, how to treat people. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, thank you. All those things. See somebody's hungry, feed him. See somebody disabled, help him. That's what is broad. Maybe some people don't go to church, but I don't go myself to the truth, but I do believe in God. But again, this is what it is. We have to kind of get by it. We're all good people. We don't have to be told and reminded, do this, do that, because it's in your heart. If you kill somebody, we protect animals. We protect anything else. But why can't we protect each other? We don't look at what color you are, what religion you are, or anything else. Your own heart tells you what you got to do in case you have to do it. So that's what I'm saying. It's beautiful what to try to do again, but again, it's sad the kids are not ready before they get to school, and you got to teach them how to, from day one, from kindergarten, how to say yes, ma'am, no, thank you. That's sad. So I want to go to other things. But again, I congratulate those people over here for their reminding the people those things should be done at home before they go to school, if you can do it. If you don't have parents, again, They comes mentors, big brothers, so to speaking, even church or anything else to be done. But let me go back to the security. And I want to say thank you, everybody, again, what was done, Mr. Misdemeanor. Everybody else, as you know, all over the world, every day, things happen. And understood at first that we were there because we were worried about terrorists. And then I realized that you can just put a person in a building and be protected from terrorists. We need any kind of whatever device you got to protect us. I don't care if it's the cameras, I don't care if it's the metal detectors, anything else to be able to do it. And my question would be, did we have in a budget 24 and 25 to pay for those metal detectors in Woodbridge High Schools? But again, I believe we should put them all the schools. And I grew up in the country. I don't want somebody to do something in memory of somebody because somebody might died or something because of the negligence or something could be done before. Some of my friends were killed during the war. The parents built something in the church in their memory. What I would recommend, if you can put to people that want to contribute, I know those metal detectors or something would be a lot expensive, but it would be great if you go to some corporations, for example, or some individual people that do ever to buy it in memory, if we give it to the schools. They'd be one of the biggest monuments that you can put in the school, safety for the kids. I think it would be a great idea if you can push towards the ESTA people. And again, but I would recommend them to put them all the schools. And just start it. If you can do Woodbridge, other towns will do it. Because kids, not just in Woodbridge, we got to protect anybody in the world. So they'll be back there because, unfortunately, worse is still to come. So let's make our kids safe. You people do a great job. And it's a good start. And thanks God, nothing was happened than what happened. But I think that's why we should work on it. And if you can get people that would be willing to do something like that, I don't know how much it would cost. I don't know if you release them or maintain them and things like that. So I would like to thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Vitarik. And, to your comments, we've rolled out metal detectors to our 3 high schools. It's been a week now. We've learned a lot within, and then I know Dr. Massimino and our team have been working with other surrounding districts that have implemented metal detectors, and we've learned a lot from them. Dr. Massimino is very well versed on this subject matter. Did you want to speak to any part of Mr. Vitarik's question?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Was there a question?
About expanding it to all levels of school.
It's still in discussion. We're trying to get the high schools sorted out, work out the kinks.
Right.
This was something that we thought we would have this spring and this summer to roll out. We've been seeking demos, meeting with other school districts. I was at a school district this morning in Union County. Expansion is obviously something that we will have conversation about, but we're starting our 3 high schools. There are parameters that we're operating within, right? There are economic impacts, there are personnel impacts, there's a collective bargaining agreement in place for the teachers, and I don't know that the administrators and the teachers at our 3 high schools could have been more flexible. I say that in the same vein that I say I don't know that the parents could have been more supportive. I'm exceptionally grateful for the parents of the 3 high schools. I had some wonderful conversations, some spirited conversations, but the support was overwhelming. So I am super appreciative to the parents in our community at all 3 high schools. I think the students are doing an excellent job acclimating. Like I said, this is a process that we're learning as we go, but I don't know what the cost for keeping children safe is. I don't know what the time frame is or how much it's worth. To me, they're both immeasurable. There's no value you can assign to the responsibility or to the lives that we are, in charge of keeping safe. So I will continue to work with the board. They've also been tremendously supportive. When the incident happened on one day, the next day the metal detectors were ordered. I don't know that we could have moved any swifter. The rollout's the rollout, right? We're working with waiting for them to get delivered, getting information out to the parents, and then working with the resources we have. And I am exceptionally grateful for all stakeholders, from the board being supportive, to the conversation I had with parents, to the students, doing their part and really, the vast majority following the rules, getting there early, putting all their stuff in the bag. And the teachers and the administrators are getting there early. They're working hard. So I do believe, I say at the Honor Society speeches, it takes a village. I don't think this is any different, and I'm appreciative for all the support we've received from our stakeholders.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lund?
Good evening. Paul Lund, Hope Lawn. I just have two questions. Number one, through an Oprah request, I noticed that Mr. Ali's job title has changed. There's some very superficial changes. I'm just wondering why you tweaked his title and his job description, number one. And number two, I'm curious, how much does our district get in federal funding? That is all.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's going back a month or two that we made the job title change. It was January or February that we did it, and I think it was simply an evaluation between Dr. Massimino and Mr. Ali's department that in the 4.5, 5 years that the position's been around, it's evolved, and we thought it was time to make a title change that was reflective of the role.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually asked Mr. Wolfram a similar question regarding the federal funding. If I remember correctly, I don't have my papers in front of me, it was about $11 million between Title I, Title II, and Title III funding.
Mm-hmm.
Perkins grants, we get a few $100,000 a year for Perkins's It's Not Pancakes, which is a long-running joke on the board here. It has to do with job training grant programs, named after the first Labor Secretary for Francis Perkins.
Got it. And I'm sorry, it's kind of cheating, but just to be clear, it used to be Director of Equity, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. What's the new title now?
It's Director of Student Access and Engagement. Did I get it right?
Oh, got it. So it's not DEI anymore.
No, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
And happy
Thank
Easter.
you. Anybody else wishing to speak this evening?
Mr. President?
Yes, Ms. Bordeaux.
After they're done, I don't want to forget to recognize the National Honor Society students.
Oh, sure.
I didn't realize there was people coming up.
Hi, my name is Liam Chang.
And I'm Rishi Patel, and we're here to represent FCCLA.
We are currently both 11th graders at John F. Kennedy Memorial High School, which resides in the Island sector of our township. We have been lucky enough to have been elected to the New Jersey State Executive Council for New Jersey FCCLA. We are 2 of 9 representatives chosen throughout the state. I am currently will be serving as your Vice President of Membership for the 2025-2026 term. Mishra will be serving as our Vice President of Community Service. As members of the State Executive Council, we make decisions that will not only affect hundreds of students, but thousands. And today we are here to talk about our recent State Leadership Conference.
Our state leadership conference was on March 19th and 20th in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. This conference had over 800 members, advisors, chaperones, and alumni. I would like to recognize our JFK Mustangs chapter's accomplishments at this conference. We received the Red Rose Chapter Award on the first day. This recognizes chapters who go above and beyond. Our second award was awarded to Ms. Santana, our advisor. She received the Spirit of Advising Award during our recognition dinner. She's the perfect recipient for this award, as she puts countless time and effort into the success of her students. The first day of this conference included of workshops. One of them was about sustainable fashion, which was led by me and Ms. Santana. There were also competitive event presentations going on the first day, and that was our first day. The second day, we started with a business meeting similar to the one that you guys are having now, and then we had a fashion show and awards. 29 students from JFK received gold medals. 5 students received silver medals, and 3 students received bronze medals. 10 students received first place, and mind you, they're competing against more than 20 chapters, and each chapter is allowed to have 2 teams, so they beat out over 100 students to get first place. 10 students received second place, and then lastly, 2 students received third place. 18 members from our JFK chapter qualified to attend the National Leadership Conference in Orlando, Florida this July to represent the whole state of New Jersey at this national conference. Last year we went and we had pretty good success, and we plan on going again this year. Even though 18 people qualified, not everyone will be going due to financial issues, but we've held several fundraisers and plan to continue holding these new fundraisers, and we would like to thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck in July.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Anybody else wishing to speak this evening? Seeing no others, the chair will entertain
Mr.
a
President?
motion to, oh, excuse me, wait, sorry, Ms. Bourdain.
Just real
yes,
quick, it is National Honor Society season, and I just want to congratulate all of the students that have received the National Honor Society induction this year. It's been, I was able to attend 3 ceremonies where I saw probably more students this year than I have in the past, and it's very impressive that these children want to work towards this prestigious society. They have to dedicate their time outside of school and maintain honor roll status, which I think is more than I could ever done. So congratulations to all the students who have received awards this year. And if you did not receive the award this year, try again next year.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Bourdain. And yes, congratulations to all those students and families who made that achievement. Seeing no other hands.
So motion.
The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
Okay, I have a second motion
Second.
by Mr. Treewast, second by Ms. Bourdain. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried. Meeting is adjourned. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you on May 8th. If not beforehand, May 1st, we have our open public budget session right here at 6 o'clock.
Take it easy.
May 1st. Thank you.
This is it.